Everyone, this is Leland Bart with Whipboard Training Consulting. Just remind you to help me along the way by clicking the like button and or subscribe. In today's video, we're going to finish off creating the auto number fields for the order entry process. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Okay, let's assume that you kind of have a order form like this. You have an order ID and then you have row specific IDs for the products that are associated with that particular order. Now, if you take a look at this order idea, it's somewhat complicated. You've got some text followed by a dash, followed by the year that it was created, followed by what I could find is to be pretty much generically a random number. And the idea is that we want to make sure that these are consistent and there's no mistakes and we follow a pattern. So maybe we want these to be entered automatically for us so the data entry person doesn't have to deal with that, because it's real easy to make mistakes when you're trying to go fast or just in general if you're typing. So we want to create an auto number, customized auto number for this. And then when we want to add an item to an order, we want to also have an auto number for this. And this one's a little simpler. This is just numeric, 1 through whatever numbers are in there. So we can look at for the maximum value of that and add 0, add 1 to it. Here we got to be able to extract out this number away from the date and from the text over here, and then add it to an incremental number and then combine it back together. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to say whenever I add a new record, I want to be able to add some text. Now again, in this particular database, the people that owned it used CANUS. I could not figure out why one or the other, so I'm just going to use US because it's US based, and we'll use the current year. We'll find the maximum number in the field and then add a incremental value of something like 100 to it. So without further ado, let's go do that. Design view, and anytime I want to come into the order ID, I want to create a new number. So we're going to go into the properties of that. Now you can double click on it also as well as right clicking. I tend to be a right clicker, and every once in a while I get lazy. The reason why is because if I double click, I can miss on the second click, and then I have to be repetitive. So I'm going to say on focus. As soon as the cursor gets focused to this field, I'm going to say let's put that in there. So on got focus, and we're going to go into code builder, click OK, and here we go. So this is the format that I use, and because I want to make sure if it's a new record, so I'm going to say if me.new record, so it knows whether or not it's a brand new record, it just created it. If it's a new record, then we're going to say me.order ID is equal to that text, and I said it's US with a hyphen. Then I'm going to end it, and then I'm going to concatenate that with the date. Yep, date, and then I'm going to concatenate that with a hyphen, and then concatenate that with the dmax function. The dmax function is going to take order ID and find it. Now let me flip back over here. It's worthy to do is that to separate the text from the, take a look at this here, and you can see that to separate this from here was somewhat complex. So what I decided to do is run a query, and that's what I did here in order ID info, and I ran that query and I extracted out just the number, and then I'm going to use that query in my dmax function. So let's take a look at what I did here real quick. And I created a field down here, and let's take a look at that. And it's looks somewhat complicated, but it's not as bad as it looked. What I'm really trying to do, and I'm going to erase this, is that what I'm trying to do is extract the numerics from the right side of the field, because that's where they are. Now I could count over and there were 5, but then I noticed I typed in some data in there, so I needed to find out where the second hyphen was and then minus that. And let me just explain that for a second. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to, the right function, it says right. Now the right function says take my text, okay, and whatever that text is, it could be a field, and then it wants a numeric value, is how many characters from the right do you want to take. So in this case, if this was right text and my text was actually 2, it would say take the T and the X there. Okay, Now, because I don't know how many characters it is, I had to use a formula. This is now a formula. That formula is this right here. Okay, and let's just walk through that real quick. So the first thing I have is the length of the field itself. So the length of text, for example, let's put in a hyphen. And then let me put in a couple hyphens there so it makes more sense. Okay, so I said the length of this field, whatever that is, that's equal to 246. That's equal to 6, right? And if I just want to find the T, or the letters at the very end, then what I said is, I said, okay, in string, which is a function that allows you to find text within other strings. And I said, okay, find in string of text, find the value hyphen. Now, since I have two of them, and I only want this one, I said start at a different position. So that's what you can actually put in the very first here. Is you say start at position 3, and then tell me where this hyphen is. So it's gonna say start at position 3. It knows it's already at position 3, 4, 5. So that's gonna be position 5. So this is saying equals 5. So then I have, what it comes down to is that the length of this minus the in string, which is 5, and this is actually 6 here. Let me change that. Got carried away. This is 6, and the in string was 5, right? So when I said find the right of, this is what I meant to type, comma is going to be what? 6 minus 5. That's really what it comes down to. So then it's right of my text. I'm just going to put txt 1. And that's really what it's doing there. It looks more complex. So just wanted to share that with you if you have not seen that before or it looked too complex. And then the value right here, what I did on that is I just wanted to make sure that the numbers I extracted were in numeric format so that I didn't get a missort by thinking it was text in there. So that's all that is just converting that to a text, making sure it's a text, a numeric value. And then right here, order ID colon, that's the name of the field, because since it's not, there's no field in the table with that name, you can name it. If you don't name it, it puts, I forget what it says, field string, I don't remember the default, but you can put in your own name here, and I decided to just keep it at order ID. So that's what I did there. So then in my query, I'm going to use order ID info as the table name, or the, so I'm going to put in here order ID info. Again, forgot the quote there. Oops. Then we're going to just simply plus 100. Okay. Don't forget to end your if statement. So I'm saying if this is the new record, because I don't want it to overwrite existing data. I don't think you can because of the referential integrity, but we have to be safe. We just only want it to do this. We don't want to have errors all over the place. So I said, okay, me.order, so order ID in my current form is equal to the text US concatenated with the date, concatenated with the maximum order ID of just the numeric side plus 100. So let's see how that works. So notice that as I scroll through here, it's not doing anything. Notice that it's retaining, nothing's changing up here. But let's go and create a new record, and notice, boom, there is a new order ID automatically for us with today's date in it. Now, it's not the format that we want. The other one, remember, if we look at the other ones, they are just the year, right? So we need to format that date. So let's go back and just add a little bit extra code to this, and we're going to take that date and we're going to wrap it in a function format. And I'm going to say format the date in year, 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 year. So in a 4-digit year. And then we'll put that down. And I think that's be more. So we're going to take the format of the date in the year, transform it into a year. So when I create a new, okay, you can see that it's now just 2022. It is not, and then we have our maximum number over here. We have US over here as well. So now that works. So every time I create a new record, boom, that's 635, 735, so on and so forth. Now we want to do the same thing. Let's say now we want to add order items in here. And we just clicked in the row ID, and I don't know which number to put in there. So let's go ahead and build a maximum or a auto number for this one as well. So we'll go into design. Okay, so we'll go into design view and do the same thing on row ID on get focus. And we'll go into code builder, click OK. And then we'll go ahead and almost do the same thing, except for we don't have the date in there. We'll say me dot row ID. Well, actually, we need to back up. We have to make sure it's a new record. If me dot new record, then me dot row ID is equal to dmax of the table, and that's going to be the table order details row ID, right? Then the domain or the table or query, order details plus 1. And if. All right. So I think that should work. Let's check it out. I always like to save. Form view. And so we've got, doesn't matter, let's just click in there. See, automatically creates that for us, and boom, we're cruising right along. We create a brand new record. Notice it's already created one for us. We click up there. There we go. So that automatically creates things for us. Now this is not optimum. Things that you might want to do is to, as you go through this, and that's where I say we do these in phases. We get it functionally working, because this works. This is a relatively much better solution than the Excel worksheet, because you have your data divided, you have automatic data entry, you have control over what your products names are, product IDs are, you have easy access to information. It's much easier, but you might want to put some safeguards in there as you're going along. You might want to move the cursor from A to B. You might want to put in a little bit more protection around the order entry process, and you actually decide that as you go. When you find out there's issues, that you suddenly say, oh, well, let's see if we can keep that from happening. So that's what we'll be looking at in the next video, is that we're going to look at this put all together, and then we're going to start just filling in some gaps where we can make things just a little bit better. Well, guys, that's it for this edition. All the code we covered will be in a link and a file in the description. In our next video, we'll look at ways to refine what we've done and to build an even better application. And if you've gotten this far, I sure appreciate it. Most don't, but I enjoy doing these, and I learned too. But if you did get this far, please reward both of us and click the like button, subscribe, no cost, cancel anytime.